I will be talking to you about how I train super soldiers and cyborg soldiers and how to beat the Dracos in one-on-one fighting.
I served on the space station of Mimas as a liaison for the Earth Embassy, working with many alien races.
Jean-Charles Moyen, Franco-American SSP, aboard the Solaris spaceship, a part of the Solar Warden. My mission, protection and rescue slaves on other planets.
Rebecca Rose, Psychic Super Soldier, Moon, Mars, Kuiper Belt, and beyond.
We know if you won't tell them the truth, we will. Hi, I'm James Rink, founder of the Super Soldier Talk podcast, Healing Soul Survivors 501c3, and now the Super Soldier Activation Conference. Since 2010, I have dedicated myself to documenting the untold stories of the secret space program. I have brought awareness of milabs, also known as military abductions, MK Ultra, Monarch, and Montauk programming. Now, we're inviting you to attend the 2025 Super Soldier Activation Conference in Orlando, Florida, for 4 days of groundbreaking discussions beginning October 8th to the 12th. Reunite with over 25 courageous secret space program veterans, learn hidden truths, heal wounded hearts, and activate the power within.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I know we're running a little late today. I'm sorry about last night. I had somebody scheduled at 11 p.m., but apparently the people Spooky2 is based. They're out of Southeast Asia too, so it's a little mix up. But we have Brad here today. Brad, why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself? Let us know how you're doing today.
I'm doing awesome, man. Another day. We're getting ready to head into the weekend. Got some super high energy and flow ready to roll. Ready to do this interview.
Very good. So when we first got on here, you looked very familiar. So that's when I realized we actually have done a video in the past. There was another event that we were at together. So so why don't you tell people a little bit about what you do for the Spooky2 organization?
So I am a gold certified trainer for Spooky2. I have been using the Spooky2 products for since primarily 2018, but more as a frequency holistic practitioner since 2021. My primary use is to kind of integrate and use these things not only in my practice, but then help others understand how that they can stand them up and use them in their own homes so that they can have and experience the same success of what working with me brings.
Very good. Okay, so I've got your bio pulled up here. So you have a 16-year background in radio frequency and studies combined waveforms and modulations for the past 8 years. You're a Rife engineer with the last 2 years focused on owner-operator of holistic frequency practice in the United States. He has been using Spooky2 generators for several years now and is committed to researching energy medicine, energy balancing, quantum entanglement of cells to provide fresh, scientific, and intellectually sound data. All of his work supports a new understanding of human wellness and infinite possibilities. He is the official Spooky2 trainer and holds many great training courses for users online and offline. So there's a link in the description to learn more about the Spooky2. So how about we just start off with, for people who don't know, what is a Spooky2?
Spooky2 is a company that basically introduces a very low cost of introducing rifing frequencies into your home. Normally, you start by purchasing some type of kit or accessory option so that you can get a generator, and then you use their software that you download to introduce these frequencies into your body. And so Spooky2 is just the kind of manufacturer of all these different generators and accessories and things like that as a means for helping to kind of keep your vibrational frequencies higher.
Very good. So what got you involved with the Spooky2?
Honestly, like I bought my first one in 2018 just because it was very cost effective, and I wanted to kind of start experimenting around with it and learning and becoming familiar with the interface and kind of how to play with this thing. And again, I have an engineering background, and so the first day I got it, I took it apart and I inspected the entire board chipset, and that's right here on the wall. But just to kind of see how everything was put together, how the signaling and analog processing worked, and it really made me comfortable with regards to the way the product was put together from that cost perspective as a reliable means for introducing rifing frequencies into your house. And so from that point going forward, I just started experimenting with it and kind of using myself and my friends and family as kind of guinea pig as I started working through the understanding of the learning curve of the product itself. And then, like I said, in about 2021, I started becoming a trainer with them. I started my own holistic practice, and I started helping others understand how to use this product successfully as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. So let's go back a little bit. Tell us about who is Royal Rife and the frequencies involved with the Rife machine device.
So Royal Rife, again, Royal Rife got primarily famous in the 1920s because of his ability to, in the microscopes and things that he built while studying pathology. He was looking for a way to have a visible, microorganism under slide to be able to take a look at that with a microscope and visibly see things. And at the time, the current capabilities and magnification capabilities just weren't allowing him to see what he needed to see. And so he built himself a microscope with over 60,000 parts, and that was the first microscope that allowed you to be able to take a drop of blood and put that under a microscope and then physically see the actual microorganisms of different things moving. And so when he started studying these slides over years, he started noticing that with using certain resonant frequencies, he could cause certain microorganisms on the slide and only certain microorganisms to resonate. And if he simply increased the amplitude or the power of that wave just a little bit, he could make just that one microorganism completely explode and shatter while all the other healthy cells around it were completely fine. And so he started into realizing that you can use resonant frequencies for identifying and breaking down low vibrational threats of different parasites and things that ultimately wind up developing to very serious diseases using frequencies. Now, that process kind of started in the 1920s, but more importantly, in the 1930s, in 1934, he actually took 16 individuals that were stage 4 cancer patients, ran them through a frequency study for 90 days and 3 weeks, and cured all 16 of them completely.
Yeah, let's
He
use
actually
code
proved
words.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So instead of CANCER, just say C.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's the reality that we're in today. But that's amazing. Yes. So I'd like to mention that. So the electron microscopes have to use a dye. So the cells are going to be dead when they go on under not when they analyze it, but also um, Royal Rife. I think he had like two of those microscopes, and
He
where
built
are they now,
several.
Bradley? Yeah, they
Well,
disappeared
again,
somewhere.
like
Maybe.
in the time, like you also had competition with, American Med and the, big rise of other large agencies that came up across the board. And so his laboratories, his research, all of his stuff, all the microscopes that he built for other doctors were all burned to the ground.
I saw a video on Instagram where his son was trying to put out the Rife device, but here's something that many people don't know about Rife is that the frequencies have changed throughout the years because we're in a constant state of flux as we're moving throughout the universe, and everything is not the same. But okay, great, thank you. So
Yeah, absolutely.
and audience members, you've probably seen, you might be old enough to remember that commercial where there was an opera singer and I think it was a Bose commercial, if I'm mistaken, and the opera singer was trying to break glass. So essentially these viruses are crystalline in form. So if you apply frequency, you can shatter them all. And
Correct.
so it's a great technology, but so how is the Spooky 2 the next generation of all that?
Well, Spooky2, like I said, I mentioned before, they just provide a cost-effective solution for being able to introduce these frequencies, new and old, into your house and into your body with regards to using them to start addressing specific health concerns.
Okay, thank you. So let's go. I'm just going to pull up some questions, maybe from the website.
Sure.
Um, so, how did James Clerk Maxwell and Nikola Tesla contribute to the discovery and understanding of scalar energy? Maybe you can just start with what is scalar energy?
Scalar energy is the ability to take two separate coils and tune the wavelength between them to that they cancel each other out. The cancellation of this creates a pure scalar energy field between the two coils. And this technology is not new by any means. It's been around for over 100 years plus. Um, Maxwell, Tesla, in fact, this was ultimately Tesla's plan was to try to bring free energy to the world using scalar wave. But Similar, like with Spooky2, they have their scalar systems are designed with a very robust set of cases that are designed to have a transmitter and a receiver. And when you tune the two into each other, they cancel each other's waveforms and create that ideal scalar healing bubble that when you put yourself in the middle of this, it will accelerate your body's natural ability to repair itself.
Can you explain a little bit about the 0 point? Is that what is actually happening? Two fields are negating themselves to create a 0 point?
Correct. Yeah, well, so similar, like think about this from like a noise canceling earphones perspective. Like when you put those noise canceling earphones on, they cancel all the noise around them because they are phased to each other. So you only hear between the two ears. You know, this is a larger concept of this from a transmitter wave that's sending a wave that's hitting a receiver and then sending that wave back to cancel it out. You are basically phasing the two waves out. And then when you do that, doesn't matter how far you make it. The uniqueness of scalar is the longer and farther you make them, the bigger and stronger the waves get, you know. Unlike your normal longitudinal waves, where wherever that wave starts at, the farther you get away from it, the weaker it is. Not the case with scalar waves.
How about here's a great question from the audience. What is the frequency range of the Spooky2 device?
So the database right now has over 61,000 frequency ranges in there of any and everything. You know, it can start from 0 hertz all the way up to, again, the Blue XM generators can go 0 to 5 million. The Gen X Pro, the silver generators, can go 0 to 40 million in frequency range. And the Spooky2 software is unique enough that you can customize any unique frequency that you wanted to. If you had a specific high or a specific low or a combination of frequencies that weren't in the database, you could create your own program.
Wow. So tell us about some of the programs that you've created.
Well, I've had the system for several years now, so generally, like I try to make combinations of successful programs. So if I'm helping someone with a specific issue, then I understand, okay, this is the right program for this particular type of issue or problem. So then if I'm comboing, you know, this issue with other issues, it helps me group most of, you know, successful programming together to have, you know, good succession when you're running them on different individuals.
Okay,
But
thank
I've
you.
got programming for everything. Like, I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. So I think to this current day, I've helped address issues in over 1,100 different people. So it's not just like one program here or one program there. Like we've been doing this for some time now.
Do you actually have to be in the presence of the device to get the healing effects? Okay.
No, not at all. In fact, that's kind of one of the unique aspects of it is you can use remote. Whereas if you have this connected to your generator and you put your DNA, whether that's a fingernail sample in here, the moment that that frequency in these coils hit that DNA of your fingernail, it's going to hit the quantum is going to bring it right into your body, regardless of how far away you are. So this can be running in your room or your office or anywhere, and you can go anywhere you want to away from it, and it's still going to impact you from afar. That's the uniqueness of remote and quantum entanglement.
Oh, wow. Well, could you give us some ideas of some of how you've helped some of your patients or clients?
No patients, just clients. Um, So again, like normally when I meet somebody for the first time, I'm trying to understand what is it they need help with, and I'm trying to understand a pathway for using the right resonant frequencies for addressing the specific issues and ailments, whether they've got 2 things or 5 things or 15 things that are their issues and ailments. Normally, from like a golden rifing rule perspective, like I'm going to try to build a pathway that says we should start here, focus on these frequencies first, and knock these issues out as you start feeling better and we start getting rid of these symptoms in the body. Then we go up and start focusing on the next issues and the next issues. And each time that you go up, the person will feel better and better and better as you resolve each issue. And you know those cells that were in the body that were kind of being those low hanging fruit are no longer being down there doing that. So they have the freedom and flexibilities to spend energies elsewhere in the body. And like I said, the more you focus on them, it helps you identify this pathway to helping restore each individual's person's DNA back to its original integrity.
Great question from the chat. Can the device take a reading on a person's vibrational level? Like, for instance, well, I guess you said, oh, you have to be there, right? But
No, yes, but it can do biofeedback scanning, you know, and that's one of the unique aspects of the device itself is you can hook this thing up to a set of TENS pads, you know, just like this, where we hook TENS pads directly up to this, and then you connect the TENS pads to your body. So once we have this physical connection here, we connect these TENS pads to our body, and then we run a biofeedback scan, or basically a frequency sweep of your body. And then the system and the generator as it's conducting that sweep, the software will monitor the responses of that sweep to try to build you a top 10 or a top 5, kind of a best of. Now, it's not going to be a medical diagnostic, meaning it's never going to come back and say, oh, hey, these are the 10 things of what's wrong with you and how you identify them as issues or threats. It won't do that for you. However, it will build you a program that you can then take and run for effectiveness based off of the responses of what your body was saying.
Wow, that's amazing. So can you tell us a little bit about the different accessories that come in conjunction with the Spooky 2? Or maybe, or you can go like different price packages for people who
Sure.
may not be able to afford a Spooky
Yeah,
2 right now.
absolutely. So again, like your first choice is obviously going to be your generator, whether you start with the blue, more cost-effective generator, or you're getting the silver, more upgraded generator. That's going to be your kind of bigger, just option with regards to pricing structure of kit. However, the kits themselves are primarily the same, and what I mean by that is they'll all come with your remote option, so the ability to use quantum entanglement and run frequencies from afar. And then as you run this particular type of setup, and your body starts becoming comfortable and familiar with this, then you would generally step up to a higher method of delivery, something like contact, where we're using either hands or TENS pads, something like this, and or hand cylinders as a way of bringing those frequencies into the body. Either way, however you're bringing them in, this method is using absorption to bring those frequencies in. It's going to be a little bit more powerful and effective than what your body was used to experiencing with this remote and on the quantum level. And then as you start stepping up in other methods of delivery, you'll have things like the cold laser, which again, now this can bring frequencies and put it right into the bloodstream. You're running carpal tunnel programming or circulation or inflammation programming. This is a wonderful method of delivery. And that's primarily what the benefit of the different kits are, is the kit is going to have these different options with regards to saying, oh, I want to try that, or I like to run this, or I would like a little bit more effectiveness. So I'm going to take a coil and I'm going to have that frequency pulse into my body. Like these are all just the different accessory options as the kit, but your main choice is going to be what runs the kits. Like, is it going to be a XM generator? Is it going to be a Gen X Pro?
Okay, great. Thank you. So what do you recommend for people who want to just start out?
Honestly, like, I always encourage people to get the Gen X Pro Essential Kit, and here's the reason why. It is the more expensive kit. However, if you wind up getting the Blue XM Generator Kit and you start getting into this and starting wanting to do more and more with it, you will eventually be like, dang it, why didn't I get the other kit? And you'll want to go back and buy the other one anyway. So I normally started with this one. Now, from that perspective, once I have, the Gen X Pro, any additional generators that I need to buy for helping people or helping friends or family members, sure, I can always add the blue ones, no problem. That's a little bit easier on the budget and things like that. But functionality of what this thing does and all the bells and whistles that you get for using it. If you're just getting in and you want to kind of explore with this thing, this is going to give you the most flexibility to do that.
Thank you. Okay, how about we? Here's a good question here. So, um, you, I believe you said that this device creates like a personalized healing environment at your homes, right? So, yep.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You go
Okay.
ahead.
So, what is like the range of the healing effect? Is it like 6 feet or miles? Do you
This depends on what you're doing. Remember, like if we're talking about running remote and you've got your DNA in the remote, you can go anywhere in the world and that will still hit you. So there's no range on remote. Whereas you're doing something like hand cylinders or contact, the range is going to be the length of the cable. Like you're not going to go any further than whatever the cable length is here. So these are going to be in-person, contact delivery sessions. Higher amplified sessions, things like plasma tube that you see back here. Plasma, obviously, are going to be stronger, more powerful types of sessions, but also, again, in person, designed to be close proximity.
Okay, thank you. Are there any risks associated with being in part of the scalar field? Could it like create any negative effects?
No, scale. Well, I mean, scalar is an amplified healing modality approach. But as I remind and tell everybody, this is an amplifier. So as electromagnetic beings, as you put yourself in this to charge or to refresh yourself or to sleep in it or whatever it is that you're doing, keep in mind that you are going to charge relatively quick when you're, again, sleeping in something like this. So the number one kind of feedback that I get from people that just buy scalar and they set it up in the bedroom to sleep in it and things, they set it up and they call me and say, hey man, I slept in it the first night. It was awesome. And the second night it was amazing sleep. And then that third night I started tossing and turning. And it's like your body is eventually going to get full when you sleep in it every single night. So you have to learn how your body responds and then turn it off for a day or two until you get tired again. and then retune. It's part of your active environment, just as you are.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I have radionics devices, and they tell you that you don't want to keep running those things because then they'll just overload the charge.
Sure.
Constantly reset it. So um, I think that works a lot of different modalities, even like with herbal remedies, you're not supposed to take it all the time. With homeopathy and so on. So
Yeah, and even when you're combining multiple modality approaches, you really do have to kind of have some, balance and stability. You can't just blast right in with one thing or another. It can overwhelm the body quickly.
yeah, someone was actually asking about the hyperdimensional resonator. I think that was Steve Gibbs' device. Do you know anything about the HDR?
Nope, haven't used it yet. Can't speak to it until I've put something in my hands and can take it apart or see how it works. I can't really speak on behalf of it.
Yeah, yeah, it's got a powerful electromagnet attached to it. So the problem with that particular device is if you were to expose yourself to that field for too long, it could potentially. I mean, I don't like to say it. It's just not a good idea. So, but okay. Free Radical is asking, does this device help in accessing the quantum field?
100%. I mean, you're using quantum and the dynamics behind quantum entanglement when you're using remote. That's what allows you to be able to put your DNA sample into that and then go wherever you want to, and it's still reaching you because you're quantumly linked to it.
I wonder, since I've used your device, Brad, I'm probably in your system. Do you think you could run a program for us?
No, have to have your DNA sample in order to run them. The
Okay.
programs are basically how this works is the Spooky2 software is free to download for any Windows-based operating system. Once you have those frequencies downloaded, the generators are just the kind of interface for how you use those free programs to then get them into your body. But in order for me to run something for you, even with all the database programming that I have, I would still need your DNA in order to make it hit back to
Okay.
you wherever how far away you were from me.
Okay. So even though I've used it in the past and it might be in your database, you still have to have like
You're
my hair.
you're not in the database. There's no, like, programming built for you. Like, there's
Okay.
the custom programs that are in the database are their own collection of frequencies, like
Uh,
Schumann resonance and grounding so like I said, you got 61,000 frequencies for different variable vibrational threats of one kind or another inside the body. So, but they're not like custom frequencies specific to you. The only thing that's custom and specific to you is your own DNA.
hmm. What is some of the more unusual requests that you've actually had some response to with the device?
I've actually had a lot of interesting success with working with a couple of ghost hunters that were using resonant frequencies and some haunted residents to play them through a particular tone device to help try to draw the entity or focus of whatever that was that what was currently in the house out and away from it. That was one of the more interesting things is kind of working and identifying a right tone base to find something that would make a ghost not happy or present with the certain environment. So it was fun working with them. Although, like I said, I get to see and work with people all the time in different types of scenarios. Everybody is always different throughout the world with regards to what they're doing and how they can kind of integrate this thing in. So creativity is really the sky on this.
So what generally seems like a lot of different products have the most usefulness for certain areas. So like what would be the most usefulness for a Spooky 2 you find most
Well, that
accessible?
really primarily depends on what your focus is. Like, if you're going to be focused on killing or targeting or removing threats, heavy, deep threats like C word stuff, or again Lyme and serious diseases and stuff like that, that's going to be with plasma and central. Whereas if your primary focus is healing modality, you want to focus on emotional balancing or anxiety or depression related focus. This is going to be amplified scalar. These are the two of the top most amplified systems on a healing modality and or a killing modality approach. And then all of the other methods of delivery simply fall as a lower method with regards to less amplified than what scalar or plasma is going to be.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Let's go to, so tell us what would be like the major big difference between the Spooky 2 and maybe some of the other products on the market?
Cost a lot of the time, and that's one of the main reasons why I started working with them is some of the other products out there don't offer some of the unique features and functions of what this system offers, but they are much more expensive, and they are much more limited with regards to what they do with regards to kind of bringing right frequencies into the house. And so that's one of the main features is a lot of different units have different prices and, based off of less functionality than what this current system's offering.
Okay, wow, thank you. So let's see. The next question would be, how does scalar energy help in balancing and aligning the chakras?
Okay, so this is really simple and easy because obviously when you're roaming about the environment, when you take on the stresses of a certain energy of one or another and it helps throw in a chakra out of alignment, the way scalar can kind of help balance these is because when you tune the scalar fields, you are again creating in this ideal healing bubble for your body. And when you put yourself in it, you're now accelerating your cell's ability to communicate and have repair. And again, if you're sleeping in it, you get better quality delta stuff, restorative level sleep because you're in an energy amplifier. And so the primary reason why it can be used for balancing chakras, again, like the uniqueness of what scalar can do, we barely even touched on scalar itself, but it has several modalities. Whether you're focused on doing pure scalar energy, where you're piping in frequencies on top of that, or you're bringing the effects of molecular drugs or medications or essential oils or anything like that into your field, all can be done with the scalar. So there are multiple methods and approaches as to how you can balance a specific chakra or an aura or an energy, or again, um, like I said, this is an energy amplifier. So with the moment that you put yourself in here, you're removing yourself from the dissonance of the normal world that you're tuned into. So the certain broadcasting towers that are out there, the high wiring of your house, the Wi-Fi, the EMF devices that you're around in your environment and your work all day. This is a way that you can tune these up, sit between it, and remove the hecticness of all that from your lifestyle.
Wow, thank you for sharing. Okay, so next question. Can you, I just want to clarify, was Royal Rife actually using scalar frequencies or just a
Yes.
frequency? Yeah.
No, he was using scalar technologies with his frequencies, but he did a lot of experimentations between the 20s and the 30s with regards to how he got everything to work. One of the unique aspects about how his technology worked, though, particularly like in the 30s and later in the 40s, is he never patented his technology. He didn't want people to kind of sell the technologies to try to benefit off of it. And so the true understanding of how a lot of it worked was never really disclosed until later, much, much later.
Yeah. So next question would be, how about with addiction or medication withdrawal? Have you had any
Yes.
experience with that? What would that
I
be?
have actually. In fact, I used the Spooky2 scaler for helping address an individual that 15 years ago they had gotten into a car accident and been severely addicted to morphine sulfate, and had gotten themselves into a predicament and was no longer able to come up with any of the morphine sulfate. And so I worked with them to use the resonant frequencies out of the Spooky2 database, both on remote and other methods of delivery, to get them worked down from a certain level of their number of pills that they were taking a day and reducing those down on a weekly and a monthly basis. Took us 6 months to get her completely drug free. But when I initially met her, she was rounding 5 extended 15 milligram extended release morphine sulfate tablets a day. So we had to taper down a lot from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2. But when we got down to 1, then we used the Spooky2 scaler to help kind of break her free. So what we would do is in the morning, she would come over and she would set the actual medication on the receiver of the case. And then I would have a scalar field tuned. I'm piping in frequencies for morphine sulfate and for endorphin release. And she would sit down in between the cases for about 20 or 30 minutes and enjoy the scalar session, just relax, let it draw the medications, let it run the frequencies in. And all while this is happening, I am imprinting these little 30 milliliter water solutions into these little vials on the transmitter side of this. So 20 minutes some days, 25 minutes other days, 30 minutes other days. It really would vary from day to day. But normally she would hit her endorphin release within about a 20 or 30-minute window. She could stand up and put the pill back in her pocket and start heading off and on her way. But then she would just take those little vials with her. And then as a withdrawal symptom would come on throughout the course of the day, she could just take the top off that and drink that frequency imprinted scalar energy. And it would keep that symptomology at bay until she got back to the scalar session for the next morning.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So,
Pretty
what is
intense. It
actually,
took us about 6 months to get her completely drug free, but got her completely out of morphine.
wow, so what is it actually doing to the body? What you think?
The
Just
scalar, Again, the scalar is allowing you to draw the molecular effects of the drugs into the scalar field without actually having to introduce them in. So you don't have to worry about the side effects and you don't have to worry about the risk of overdose. You're simply drawing the molecular level in on a scalar field into your body as you put your DNA into it. Now that's being integrated in every time your DNA evolves. So again, 20, 30 minutes, it'll vary sometimes depending upon empty stomach or how you're feeling. Eat body weight, mass, and stuff like that are all variables as well too. But when you're bringing those in with the frequencies, basically you're allowing 20 or 30 minutes to basically trick the brain into believing that, oh, I have actually taken this drug. I'm going to release an endorphin to help me get by, even though no physical drug, no medication's been introduced to the body at all.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful what our mind is capable of through quantum entanglement. We can, yeah, thank you for sharing. Okay, so lots of great questions. How about, here's a good, very good question. How about cost for the units?
Okay, so we talked about cost a little bit earlier with regards to the two different generators. Your blue generator is going to be about $100. The silver generators are going to be $650 for the 2-in-1 generators. So when you combo these with a kit, generally your blue generators will start out with kits around the $300 range, $330 range. The Gen X Pro kits with the larger generator, obviously, is going to be about a $900 range because the cost of the Gen X Pros are $650. So they are going to be a little bit more expensive. And um, again, like as you work up into the more amplified deliveries, that the pricing obviously is going to go up when you're using the more higher methods of delivery. That's when your prices will go up as well.
Thank you. Okay, next question. Physical performance can use the device to enhance athletic ability.
Not just athletic ability, but athletic recovery. Like if you've been exhausted because you put in extra energy efforts and things like that, the ability to repair and the ability to kind of rebring stuff into your energy fields using scalar is incredible. Like again, it's not the only thing that you use to help rebalance the body, but if the fact that most athletes, like they have a routine of what they do and how and what they bring into the body, both nutrient and hydration wise and things like that, these can all be incorporated in with the scalar energies that you're introducing into the body for repair.
Well, can you give us any examples, or how about maybe some examples of some
Well,
healing?
sure. Let's assume that you take or you make these recovery drinks like a lot of people do every once in a while. You could take your recovery drink and place it on the transmitter of your scalar. Then put your body into the scalar for 15 or 20 minutes. Let your cells re-energize, find that kind of median balance back to zero where you want to be. And then when you get up, you can take that bottle of that energy recharge with you that it's now been charged with scalar energy in addition to what it's supposed to do for your body.
Okay, thank you. Okay, here's a good question. What are the three different methods of scalar energy transmission in Spooky2 Scalar? Yeah, how do they enhance healing? Do you know the three
Okay,
different?
so Spooky2 actually has 4 different methods. So we
Oh,
talked a little bit about the first method. That's the pure energy, where we just set up the cases, we plug them into power, we tune them, and we set them up as a pure scalar energy field. That's number 1. Number 2 is going to be bringing rifing frequencies in. So now we're introducing a frequency on top of that pure energy field. Number 3 is going to be our molecular modulations. So whether we're bringing in medications or a set of essential oils or the benefits of anything that you want to draw into the field comes in on the receiver side. So that's going to be our third ability. Then our fourth ability is obviously going to be with the harmony. The harmony is where you can then bring in your audio modulations. If you have certain like healing beats or anything like that that you like to listen to, then you can those in and bringing those in on an audio modulation as the fourth modality with scalar.
okay. So which one would it be that comes under strengthening the human energy field? How does this?
Again, you can do that with two primary ways. Is one just pure scalar, number two, let's bring frequencies in. Let's bring frequencies in like immune system support or immune system stimulation, or again, there are tons of DNA repair programming, chakra balancing programming that we can run into these frequency scalar fields to help balance our bodies faster.
Okay, thank you. Let's go on here. So, is this device connected to orgone technology through William Reich? Is there?
No, it does not have any connection to Oregon technologies, but there are ways of integrating the two technologies together.
And you've done that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. And so, what are some of the results?
Well, again, like I said, you always have really varying results when you're trying to merge existing technologies of like orgon technologies and scalar technologies. A lot of people are coming up with different, kind of makes on these products where you can use and find multiple kind of means and purposes for combining the two for doing specific things. Like the ability to take a scalar wave generator or the scalar combination of scalar, orgon a base and put that into some coil systems or some copper tubes and then amplify it with a crystal, you've got some amazing capabilities.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, so I've got lots of different orgone devices, and I put little written intentions because everything is frequency. So
Intuition.
you can tune yourself to that frequency by manifesting it. So the key to manifestation is you don't want to just ask, say, God, please give me my red Ferrari. I'm still waiting for red Ferrari. You say, thank you, God, for my red Ferrari. You visualize it's already here in the present tense. So. And that's the proper way to pray. Say, let's say Native American shamans are doing a rain dance ceremony to have it rain. So they visualize the mud under their feet, the water, the raindrops on their head and their body, and then it starts to rain because we can create that through quantum entanglement. So, okay,
Sure.
thank you. I knew I had some quick. Oh yes, how about we go through the history of the device? What can you give us an in-depth discussion about how the Spooky2 came into being?
So the Spooky 2, I mean, the company themselves originated in 2013. Um, initially launched as Spooky, rebranded in 2014 as Spooky 2, or the squared version of that. Came out with some new software interfaces and started upgrading their software interface for how you can access the frequencies, and then adding more and more frequencies over the years. And they've just grown steadily but surely. Like Spooky 2, as I mentioned before, is one of the most cost-effective means for introducing rifing frequencies. Now, when you have the ability to take a database that has over 61,000 options for pathways, it becomes very difficult for you not to be able to come up with a certain frequency to try to figure out whatever issues are wrong with you.
Okay, but what about like the founder of it, Spooky 2? What was his
John White?
input? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, again, so John White's been a whole part of this the entire time, like it's his baby. And so, um, uh, again, the only primary reason right now is just because he's primarily busy with other stuff, with other interviews and things like that going on, that I'm fortunate enough to be able to bless you guys to do this information, cover this with you. But John's been behind this, like I said, the whole time, with regards to the constant innovation and the constant changes and the advancements of different rollouts of different technologies, which is exactly like what you're seeing with them right now. They're rolling out a new product and kind of a new concept of portable scalar devices and things like that going forward. And so that's basically, anything and everything that John's been about moving forward. It's just the benefit and helping of others.
Well, can you give us any details about any of those future products?
Sure. I mean, the Aha Halo is out right now. This is just hit the market. Like I said, this is what is considered a portable scalar device. So this has a little bit newer type of an interface where you can kind of plug this in and then drag and drop frequencies specific to what you want. And then once you turn this thing on, it will produce a 3-foot bubble aura around you. So as you're taking it places, you just have to basically have it centrally located, and then it will basically encompass your entire aura, with whether you're balancing your chakras or your energy meridians, or the things that I've been experimenting with it a lot here recently is sleeping. It has wonderful delta sleep programs that you can just put on, and I have been putting them on in my room to help keep my animals asleep throughout the course of the night, and I've been having some wonderful success with that. And so, like I said, the product is relatively brand new, but this is something that, again, that is going to be coming out with regards to introducing portability of scalar on the go, but the uniqueness of being able to customize it with specific frequencies specific to what you want to balance.
Okay, thank you. So let's see here. I just pulled this up on the website. This is a list of some of the benefits of for scalar energy. So how do you Spooky 2 related? It increases cell energy. It boosts energy levels. It opens the chakras. It slows aging, enhances body circulation, relieves high blood pressure, unclumps blood cells, reduces pain and inflammation, helps with arthritis and injuries, accelerates body metabolism and weight management, stimulates our natural immune function to kill viruses and bacteria, speeds up natural healing, improves permeability of cell walls, enhances cell nutrient absorption and waste detoxification, manages stress, improves sleep quality, helps with depression, clears the mind, enhances focus and concentration, improves memory, relieves migraines, reduces harmful effects of EMF, repairs DNA, protects DNA from damage, and enhances plant health and growth.
And again,
Wow.
that's really just scratching the surface. That's if you're not even really introducing custom or specific frequencies for it. Like I said, the sky is the limit with regards to creativity.
Okay. Well, could you tell us about the results from your plant and health growth? Did you put in
Shit, man, I've had incredible results from plant health. Like, so several years ago, when I moved from Indianapolis to Missouri, my father-in-law gave me a cactus because he was moving down to Florida at the same time. And when he gave us the cactus, my wife and I, the cactus, it was almost actually dead. It had a bunch of dead spots on it, and it was really struggling. So we weren't even really sure it was going to make the trip successfully. But when we got here, I started putting 528 water in it and just kind of feeding it continuously and making sure that it was coming back to life. And started slowly but surely, dude. It's not only did it come back, but it's blossomed and it flourished back. So as I was imprinting certain water frequencies like 528 hertz into it and feeding it, and I was putting the plant in scalar and I was giving it an ideal environment for healing. It didn't take very long at all. And then all of a sudden, now I've had to replant the thing 3 different times outside my house. Like, even when people come over, they're like, oh my God, those cactuses are crazy. It's like, I know, I can't control them anymore.
I can see like maybe an organic farmer would put this on their water supply and simulate fertilizer in the water, so you would have organic.
100%.
Okay, let's see here. How does it help with migraines?
So again, there are specific migraine programming. Like I said, with scalar is an amplified energy. You could simply sit in it and focus on your migraine, and you can use energies to guide to that headache. That's one method. Two, you could use frequencies. Like you introduce a frequency specifically for migraine or a headache from unknown circumstances. Bring those frequencies into your DNA or into your environment. Help resolve those issues that way. Just 2 quick methods of how you can address headaches quickly.
Okay, thank you. How about so we have maybe speeding up natural healing. How would it speed up? Does it like speed up time? It affects.
No, not time, but it
Okay.
basically, like I said, by removing your body from all the things that the dissonance of what drove you down from the normal high vibration that you are anyway, that is removed when you put yourself into scalar. So that it gives you that ideal opportunity to repair, sleep deeper, have better restorative level sleep, repair yourself faster by creating an environment ideal for healing in.
What about for it says weight management? So have you worked with anybody that's lost or
Yes.
considerable? Okay, so tell us about that.
Me, even myself, when I first started in 2018, I didn't really have any guidance to this, so I just started running all kinds of targeted and killing modality programs. And one night I was getting ready for bed, and my wife was like, "Dang, baby, you've lost a lot of weight." And I was like, "Whoa, whatever." Like, there's no way. Like, I'm a diabetic. I monitor my food. I do food prep. I know exactly what I eat, so there's no way I lost weight. But I was like, what would make her think that I lost weight? And so I went into the bathroom and I found a scale and some batteries, and I put it on it, and I lost 35 pounds. And when I came out of the bathroom, my wife was like, I don't know what you're doing, man, but I'm next. So I started realizing that when you start targeting and using killing modality frequencies to break down those lower vibrational stuff, they're normally stored in fat cells in the body. And so when you break them down, they normally process out and leave as a side effect of it. And this is what I've seen kind of commonly and routinely. Like, any of my clients that are generally running for remote sessions for anywhere from 2 to 3 months will generally report back weight loss.
That brought back this. I watched this video. I think it was either Emery Smith or CG. So they were discussing something called the Teslatron. So it was a device you walk into this room and it would re-age you, and you would also immediately lose, like you could lose 30, 40 pounds by the time you walk out of the room. So
That's crazy.
it must be working through some kind of pushing through different dimensional frequencies. Like maybe you were brought into a higher dimension, and then when you came back down, you don't need have all
Brought
that
back down. Who
parasites and
knows?
and all that. And you're younger too. So how about we discuss a little bit about the re-aging aspect? What have you noticed, or some of your clients noticed?
Same thing, man. You're dealing with a database with over 60,000 options. So you've got collagen building, skin tightening, anti-aging programming that can all be run and administered on different parts of the body. You're using a coil to pulse those frequencies across the skin or across the entire face or in the legs or in the thighs or in the, like I said, it's location specific. So the sky is the limit with regards to what and where you focus on.
Okay, so Chad, if you want to ask him a few more questions, go ahead. Because I only have one more question on this list right now. So that is, where can we learn more about some of the classes that you teach?
So I teach again. I'm on the Spooky2 Academy. You can follow me on the Spooky2 Academy. You can also follow me on my Telegram channel. The Telegram channel has a lot of resourceful information that you can just chat and ask and get interested information. I also do one-on-one host training. So like if you're not really sure about something or you just like to do a one-on-one Zoom session with me, just feel free to shoot me an email. I'll get you scheduled. The whole purpose of getting and having all this information is the ability to try to help others understand how to use it as well.
Okay, thank you. So Chad is asking, do you need to be where are you in in Indiana now, or where are
No,
you?
I'm in Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. I'm in the middle of the country.
And so if Chad wanted to get a session with you, does he need to come to the Ozark?
No, normally he's welcome to reach out to me, either email or call, and we'll talk from there and kind of come up with a game plan.
Okay, and also your email and your phone number is all on the website too. So um,
Correct. Yep.
what's the most profound argument using scalar? Also, is there any one sound or food or topical that works wonders with scalar?
Well, again, scalar is pretty unique. Like, let's assume that you have like fruit or something like that that's aging in your kitchen. Put that thing in the middle of scalar; it will clear that mold up on it instantly. It's pretty insane with regards to food and its ability to keep and maintain a healthy, energetic environment.
Can this device remove scar tissue?
There are programming in the database for scar tissue and accelerated healing for scar tissue repair. Again, tons of programs for all kinds of molecular critical drugs for scar tissues as well. So absolutely.
This is a great question from Jed. You can almost apply it to like cell phones. Can this be miniaturized and integrated into clothing items or maybe your cell phone case?
Sure. Again, like I said, people are actually already doing this with the stickers. You take like these holographic stickers, you imprint them with a specific frequency that you want to, and then you just apply that sticker anywhere on the body, and ta-da!
Uh, Oli is asking, is there any website names or books, resources, informative regard to using scalar in human body?
I'm sure there are tons of them out there, but with regards to like reliable resources for scalar technologies, again, like I said, I fortunately, I don't absorb information by reading. I'm more of a hands-on experience type of individual. I can learn and understand the technology when I understand its capabilities and how it functions and works, and then I can speak to it on behalf of real life experiences. But with regards to books, again, do some research because all the technology is fairly similar. You're not talking about anything new here, so lots of research out there.
Yeah, I would recommend maybe The Body Electric by Bob Becker because he was working on ways of regrowing limbs. So I thought that kind of interesting because we're taught that we can't regrow limbs, right? But it can, and there's doctors that have done it, but they don't want. I think the reason why it's suppressed is because the same technology can be used to re-age you, and the thing you want is 7 billion people living for 1,000 years. So that
No
is.
money in healing, my man. No money in healing.
I know. So let's go to the next question. What? Let's see here. Karen says many clients got ill when hooked up to Spooky. Oh, but I know. So Karen, of course, some people even they say even like the foot detox can take a lot of like your nutrients out of your body. So like every modality out there. So could you elaborate on how they got ill because I would like to learn something about
Well,
why.
again, different people are going to have to take different precautions with technologies like this. Obviously, someone with like a pacemaker or someone pregnant is going to need to step back from using technologies like this because you don't want to induce harm to a child and or to an electronically implanted device inside the body. There are side workarounds such as remote that will allow you to be able to do specifics. But again, there are certain situations that you're going to just have to have caution with regards to this technology, no matter who or what situation you are.
Okay, thank you, Bradley, for this very enlightening show. I want to say also thank you, audience members, for all of your amazing questions. Karen, it's good to see you again. Thank you for joining the chat. Chad as well. We have some Oli, many regulars on here today. Yeah. And so if you'd like to learn more about the Spooky2, please click on the link in the description. You can use my name referral code. So I get to, yeah, that's just take so you can get like 5% off on your order. And so you can support Brad here and Spooky2 and try out this amazing technology. Brad, do you have any final comments?
No, I'm just very grateful and thankful for the opportunity. Anytime I get the opportunity to help try to better inform people as to the benefits of what this technology can do and how to, again, enrich their lives or their house or their business with it. Like I said, that's the whole purpose of what I'm doing behind all this. So thank you again for the opportunity. And again, thank you to Spooky2. And again, anybody out there who's interested in researching or learning more about this, please do not hesitate to reach out. I'll be more than happy to help.
Okay. All right, everybody. So just stay tuned for this message from Purium. This is an amazing superfood company. And so this, I want to say shout out to Ian for helping me out on this. So please stay tuned and also go to supersoldiercon.com, purchase a ticket to my conference. So the early bird ends on April 30th. And also go to Healing Soul Survivors, make a donation to support the work I do, or if you would like to help support a super soldier or help us out with the conference, we have volunteer options, and there's even a rewards program if you want to promote it to your social media. So spread the word to help support the super soldier community and get the information out to the public that the SSP disclosure is here and now, and we're going to make it happen. So, okay. All right. Bye, everybody. See you all later. And bye, Bradley. Thank you.
Take care.
See you all.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the Human Optimization Report. I'm your host, James Rink, and today we're joined again by Ian Farrar. He is a founding brand partner at Purium for the last 22 years, as well as a certified health coach and nutritionist. So, Ian, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. It's awesome to be here with you today.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you, audience members, for joining us. So today we're going to be talking about two products within the Purium line. So what is the first product you'd like to share?
The first product I'd like to talk about is our Zinc Aid. And our Zinc Aid is a whole food approach for immunomodulation. Okay, most people know what zinc and A and C and D is, but most people are taking that from isolates. So Zinc Aid is a whole food approach. You're getting your zinc from guava, you're getting your vitamin D from alga, you're getting your vitamin E from sunflower, you're getting your vitamin C from acerola and camu. Okay, this right here is a whole food way. Now, the human body was designed to get its nourishment from whole foods. So you take 3 of these a day, and it will really help keep the doctor away in terms of immune system dysfunction. A lot of people are experiencing that. We came out with this, 5 years ago, if you know what I mean. And people really, really loaded up on this, and they had healthy immune systems.
Okay, Ian, some questions.
Sure.
So tell us, why would you want to use a whole food version? It seems like compared to say like a multivitamin.
Yeah, that's a great question. Now, the reason is that a tablet has maybe a 5 to 10% absorption. Okay, we were designed to get our nourishment from the food that we eat. That's why the concentrates that are in that capsule are food. So you're looking at a much higher absorption. When that capsule breaks open into your gut, it's going to get into your bloodstream and it's going to do what it needs to do. Whereas the tablet, more often than not, is not digested and it finds its way into the septic tank. Well, the next product we launched, close to 6 months ago, it's called Pineal Clear. Everyone watching this has a pineal gland. Okay, the pineal gland is really, really, responsible for, serotonin and helping you get into that deep restful state of sleep. This also has a lot of odd concentrates that help your brain decalcify your pineal gland from fluoride and other chemicals. This is a really, really key product that everyone should be using. If you're using, standard toothpaste, it has fluoride. Fluoride gets, accumulates in your pineal gland. So This right here has some amazing ingredients. Okay, it has haritaki fruit, it has shilajit, it has curcumin, it has chaga mushroom, and it's a tincture. So you take about a quarter of a tincture in your water in the evening and in the morning, and you're going to help decalcify your pineal gland.
Wow. So can you tell us about maybe what some people have reported by taking that particular product?
They have a lot of things. You're gonna get into that amazing deep dream state. You may have a better connection, if you know what I mean. And you're just gonna bring your body back to homeostasis and have it work the way it was designed instead of being inundated with a lot of chemicals, which tend to reduce our performance as humans.
Wow, that sounds like some two amazing products. And
Yeah.
so that one was also herbal based.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Herbal and mushroom based, yes.
Now I've been taking iodine, so
Good.
yeah, molecules displace bromide molecules. So of course, they brominate our here in the United States. They brominate our bread, right? Our wheat. So people that go to if you're in Europe and you have a piece of pizza, you feel great. Well, usually, right? But in the States, you're real tired. So all that bromides go right into the pineal gland,
Mhm.
and um, well, okay. Well, thank you for sharing this amazing human optimization report. You're welcome. So thanks to Ian for coming on here today. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and also click on the link to learn more about to purchase these products or learn about some of the other amazing Purium products. So everybody stay healthy and stay optimized. Hi, I'm James Rink, founder of Super Soldier Talk and the Super Soldier Activation Conference. Since 2010, I've fought to bring to light the untold stories of the secret space program. Now, we're inviting you to attend the 2025 Super Soldier Activation Conference in Orlando, Florida, for 4 days of speakers and fun, beginning October 8th to the 12th. Connect with over 25 courageous secret space program veterans and unlock hidden truths and activate your own potential. Secure your spot today. Join a community that's breaking barriers and exploring the extraordinary.
Please consider supporting Super Soldier Talk by purchasing your own Neo Meditation device. Your Neo Meditation device will help you reduce stress, integrate trauma, enhance intuition, enhance clairvoyance, and enhance creativity. Get yours now at www.neologicaltech.com. Just when you thought you were done with me, I had some more to share. So I got my package. I got this Purium Daily Core 4 from Purium, and I'll show you what I got in this package. So we have this apothecary. So it's got the sour tart cherry concentrate. So and that says all that's in it. With yeah, that's it. Organic. There's not going to be like high fructose corn syrup, any of those fillers. So I might try mixing this with some other fruit juice. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that, but you're supposed to take 2 tablespoons a day. So this is a monthly package. I also got the Power Shake Apple Berry. So this one you take 5 tablespoons with 20 ounces of water. So I'm trying to see what kind of protein is in here. Organic rice protein powder. Let's see. Okay. This looks like a spirulina. Yeah, so this is all like, I guess it would be vegan options. So try out the Power Shake that comes with this. So you get two packages a month. So you get 2 of these. And you also get this Aqua Vibrance product. I'm sorry, I forgot. There you go. Okay, so this Aqua Vibrance, this one is you take this with, okay, it's not even on this list. So, I'm going to have to talk to Ian about this one, but it says oxygenation for that. And then you also get the Biome Medic. So this one is for gut biome. It has some probiotics in there, wheat germ extract, chicory root extract, fluvic and humic acid, and also some lactobacillus. Okay. So go try out it has a gut biome, and you get the super aminos. So this is great if you do some bodybuilding, because we just don't get enough protein. If you're a bodybuilder, you got to have a lot of protein. So this is a plant-based protein. I will tell you in just a bit. Aminos, it doesn't say what it's made from, but it has so it's got anyway. So go check out Purium. There's a link in the description. And is my chat still there? Oh, I'm still blurry. Sorry. Okay, so now we're really done. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you all later. See y'all.